Good morning, students. Till yesterday, we were discussing on the making of the Constitution of India. Today, we are entering into another area where we are going to discuss about the working of the Constitution. And clear-cut outward expression of the Constitution, bringing the Constitution to the doorsteps of the people. What is Constitution? What is the use of it? How it is going on? All those things would be projected and brought out into the public mindset through the process named elections. Nowadays, if you read a newspaper, we hear these things. Or if we go to news channels, we can hear about elections, by-elections, panchayat elections, assembly elections, parliamentary elections, presidential elections, vice presidential elections, elections of legislative councils, Rajya Sabha elections, taluk panchayat, village panchayat, district panchayat. So like this, so many election processes are there. People are permitted by the members of that society to look after the election. To look after the administration. Since all the people do not have the time to look after the administration, or all cannot do the administration, we select some members and tell them, go and do it. The candidates in the election are the persons who are stating that I am ready to do the services for you. I am ready to be the representatives. If so many representatives or so many are ready to be representative, there will be elections because we can send only one. We need only one. So that representative is bound to take care of the people of that area and look after the administration. So if they are only for less number of the people, we call it a ward member. And that ward members join together, we call it a panchayat is created. And little more above, around 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 people may call it a taluk panchayat. When one district alone is taken into consideration, we call it a district panchayat. That's a one level of administration. All the members are elected there also. Second, we see assembly. A state will be divided into different constituencies according to the population of the state. Karnataka has got 224 MLAs, divided in 224. Those 224 MLAs are elected to the legislative assemblies. We call it legislative assemblies for 5 years. So we have selected all of them to be the chief ministers. of respective constituencies. Since it is not possible, they join together and select one person as the chief minister for the state. For Karnataka, we know Mr. Yediyurappa. So these MLAs join together. They make one person as a chief minister. Since so many responsibilities are there, or it is difficult for one person to handle all the responsibilities, that he divides the responsibilities to some other persons. They are called the ministers. Sharing of the responsibilities. So all the ministers and chief minister are the MLAs of different constituencies of their state. If a person has to be made a chief minister, he should be a member of the legislative assembly or council. If he is not, within 6 months he has to become. He has to get elected or nominated if there is a chance. However, within 6 months he has to become the MLA or MLC. Otherwise, he cannot continue as the chief minister. So such details, powers and qualities and qualifications for the MLAs, chief ministers, ministers are mentioned in the Constitution of India. So elections are taking place once in 5 years. Period of assembly in India is 5 years. But before that also assembly can be dissolved. New elections can take place. And after once the election is over, 1 or 2 persons resign their MLA-ship, or anybody dies when he is a member of the legislative assembly, there will be by-election. By-election to those constituencies where members have lost the membership or resigned or anybody died. That's called a by-election. After 5 years, when the complete seat has completed the term 5 years, there will be general election to the legislative assembly. The same is for the parliament also. No difference. We call it members of parliament election, MP election. MPs also are elected to be the prime ministers, all MPs, but since we make it a unit, country as a unit, and only one person is elected as a prime minister, since the responsibilities are so much, Prime Minister cannot reach into nook and corner of the country. Prime Minister may not be an expert in all the departments or all sections or all areas of administration, technical, non-technical, scientific. So he has got the capacity or power to divide the administration to other MPs. They are called ministers in central government. To guide or to have a final authority in the administration, we have the good President of India. The rules and regulations passed by the Parliament of India should be signed by the President. The actions of the government has to be approved by the President. President has to get information from the Prime Minister of all the governmental activities. President has to accept the proposals or suggestions given by the Prime Minister. But if the President feels some of the suggestion or the proposal given by Prime Minister is not correct, he can request the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to reconsider it. Think about it once more. He can point out the problems of it. He can guide the Prime Minister. But if the Cabinet and Prime Minister insist the decision taken by them should be accepted by the President, President has no choice but to sign that document or resign from the job. If he goes against the advice of the Prime Minister, he is violating the Constitution of India. He is not eligible to remain in the constitutional position as the President of India. You may think why it is so. Otherwise, it can create power blocks. Who is powerful? Prime Minister is powerful or the President is powerful? Who should obey whom? Here there is no obedience. That is what the constitutional writers have told. It is not an obedience or it's not a power. It's an acceptance by the President, the plans and suggestions put forward by the Prime Minister. And as the senior person, the President has the right to advise the Prime Minister, so giving suggestions, see this can go wrong. So please think it once more. But still, the Prime Minister has got upper hand. He can tell the President, no, we want it. The Parliament decides it. Parliament wants it. The President has no choice. That's the way the constitutional writers have written it. So elections are held in India after every 5 years, except for the members of Rajya Sabha and legislative councils. The term of the elected officers are 5 years. That's a greatness. The Vice President of India is a chairman of the Rajya Sabha. If one other member joins in Rajya Sabha along with the Vice President, the chairman will leave the Rajya Sabha before the other member leaves. Other member is having 6 years time and the Vice President is having only 5-year term. So Rajya Sabha and legislative councils are having 6 years. All other elected posts, it is 5 years. The President, MLAs, MPs, all Panchayat, District Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat, all are having 5-year term in their office. That you must understand. The party which wins the election means the party which get majority of the seats in the election. If you say Karnataka, 224 seats are there total. The political party which gets 113 seats are permitted or is permitted to form the government. If one party alone is not able to get it, they can join with any other party. That has happened after last previous election. No party was able to have majority of their own. That means no party was able to have 113 MLAs. So Congress and JDS joined together and they had 140 MLAs. They formed the government. But later on, some of the JDS and Congress MLAs resigned They joined with the BJP and they formed the government. So there was a by-election to those posts or those MLA seats who lost their membership. Because the Parliament of India has passed a law that a person who is elected in a party ticket cannot change his party. Independent person has no problem. If he has got elected in a Bharatiya Janata Party ticket, he has to remain in Bharatiya Janata Party membership. He cannot shift one day morning Bharatiya Janata Party, noon Janata Dal, evening he cannot come to Congress, and again he cannot come to BJP. That is not possible. That's something. So Parliament has made a law like that. So if a political party is not having membership or majority, if they can topple the government and get that MLAs and get them elected to their party, they can form the government. Those elections is called by-elections. Thus, we will discuss how elections are democratic. Why should have electoral competition? Should we have it? Is it good for the country? And can the people do something about the promises given by the politicians or political party candidates during the election time? All those things would be discussed by us in the next sessions. Okay? Thank you very much.